Hi, it's Romala, and this week we are looking at gratitude as our spiritual lesson. And this was the one that I was just shuffling was coming through as the message for the collective. And it's not one we've had before, but it's something I talk about a lot, is gratitude. So what is gratitude? Real life symptoms for my notes. I've got focusing on just the problems. There's an emotional heaviness, feeling a disconnect from joy, and that's the issue before we move into that gratitude, when we are sort of in that slumping energy. But what gratitude can do is it helps us look for that patch of blue sky, those little patches of joy, and to celebrate them and say, yes, I love this, bring me more. It is overcoming that. It's not I've got gratitude without toxic positivity, and I think that's really important. It's not saying that the things that you've got at the moment are not there. It's not saying ignore things that are going on, and that could be the collective issues going on in the world. But this is actually just looking for those little things that you can be grateful for. So for me, you know me, I often talk about the blue sky, brings me joy. We've got proper summer day today, not the heat wave that we've had before. I haven't got washing on the line, but there will be washing later, and I'm so grateful that I can do washing and get it dry on the line. Really beautiful thing to be able to do. After I've recorded this, I'm going to go and sit down in the sunshine, or the sunshine shade, and just rest. And I'm really grateful that I can do that, that I've got time to do that, and the weather is beautiful enough to be able to do that, to recover and rest my body and my mind from everything else that's going on. Just finding those little pockets of joy, because it's so important. But also it's training the nervous system to notice the safety. So what makes you feel safe? What makes you feel supported? And just saying, this really works for me. This is what I want more of. This is what I'm going to push myself into, just step into, release myself into, allow myself to experience and to receive. So like I say, for me, it will be sitting down in the sunshine. It will be probably going for a nap because I'm feeling really tired. A lot going on at the moment, including the recent passing of my dad. So emotionally, I'm very drained at the moment. But I'm really grateful that actually it's the school holidays and I can go and rest. I can look after myself. I don't have to be running around after everybody else. I'm grateful that the kids are now teenagers, so they can feed themselves, they can sort themselves out, and they don't need me to manage and their every minute and create those spaces for them to enjoy. They can do that for themselves, and that just allows me a little bit of space for myself, which is I'm so grateful for at the moment. Small moments matter. Yeah, small moments really are where the gratitude and the joy really step in. It isn't about going on big holidays or huge days out. It's about those small moments within there that really are the things to feel that gratitude for, to experience, to allow yourself to receive. And that's really important. So yeah, it's, we went on holiday recently. My dad was very poorly. I wasn't really there, but the moments that I was there were sort of sitting on the beach watching the kids in the sea, grateful that they could go in the sea, that they were having fun, that the weather was good, grateful that I could sit on the beach and didn't have to go in the sea. It wasn't that warm, even though it was hot. But it was those little moments, the moments of, Chips walking along the prom. It's those little moments, rather than the whole days of trying to make huge big memories out of everything. It's focusing on those little micro moments, because that really is where you can feel the gratitude for the things that you have. And you can then, for those little moments, you can step into that emotional connection. I know how I felt when I sat on that beach and I was watching the kids, and I had my book and my water, and I was just happy and relaxed. I can feel that in my body. I can feel my body relax when I feel that, and that's I'm really grateful for. gratitude and emotional expansion is the next thing, and that's just what I've been saying, is about that energy of gratitude and that feeling. It grows and it becomes more than just gratitude. It steps into its own energy, it steps into its own emotion, because when we feel that gratitude for what we have, our emotional body lifts into it. We feel, like I say, that emotion that we were feeling at that time, for that moment that we are feeling gratitude for. And that's a really beautiful thing, because that really can help us shift our emotional balance as well. Obviously with gratitude, say three things you're grateful for every day, and that is true, but what I've always said is just make it simple. For me, it's the fact I've got running water, I can boil a kettle and I can have a cup of tea. For me, I'm grateful for this beautiful big mug that I can have a lovely cup of coffee in. I'm grateful that the washing's on the line. It isn't yet, but it will be. And it's those little things, rather than that I'm grateful that I've got I haven't been on a cruise, but I've been to the Caribbean, or I'm grateful that I've got a new car, or those big things can be quite limiting in how they show up, because they are once a year things, once every few years things, whereas those small little micro moments are ones that we can capture often multiple times a day, and it just resets your energy, it just lifts you and allows you to step into a different timeline is the way that's coming through, but it's a different energy, and that is so important. So yeah, the being grateful for 3 things every day, brilliant tool to use. Being grateful for 5 things, but rather than just saying it, allow yourself to feel it. Feel the emotion of, I'm so grateful that I experienced that, I'm so grateful that this happened, because that allows you just to shift your energy vibration. So like I said, I'm feeling quite low at the moment. That dog barking, I don't know if you can hear it, that's really getting on my nerves at the moment. And I'm thinking, I've got nothing to be grateful for at the moment, I'm just so tired. But actually, my gratitude is that I'm going to sit in the sun and finish my coffee in a minute, that I'm going to then go and have a nap with the window closed so that I can't hit the dog, maybe put some music on or do a meditation. And I'm grateful that I've got the space and time to be able to do that, because like I say, that is a gift. It really is a gift. So yeah, gentle support tools you might want to step into. It's the gratitude journaling, so the writing down regularly of the things that you are grateful for. Most of us can easily find 3 or 5 things every day that we are grateful for, and it's a great practice, because what we're saying is, I love this, I want to experience more of this. And naming simple joys, so rather than just saying I am grateful for this, is my simple joys for today are coffee, sitting in the garden on a comfy chair with the sun, with a bit of shade, having a bit of a nap. My joys are the dog has stopped barking, maybe it'll last a bit longer, just things like this, small little things. And it's a good thing to do in the evening before you go to bed, so the things that you're grateful for that day, it sends you off to sleep on a really positive vibration as well. So I'm so tired, energetically tired as well as physically tired, emotionally exhausted. That's our spiritual lesson for today, is the power of gratitude, and how gratitude can show up for us, and how we can experience it to really. And I would invite you to look for those micro moments, because they really are the power tool behind the gratitude. We will be looking at this within the Access Your Inner Light membership, clearing a negative emotion or belief around this, maybe even around unworthiness, that might be something. And then gratitude as well, we'll be looking at activating something around gratitude and receiving it, because I think they're both really important. Like I say, so rather than making it into these big, huge things that only happen once a year, once every few years, just make it into those micro things that you experience every day. So I am going to leave you. I'm going to let this process. Please like, subscribe, follow, and let me know how this lands with you. I'm going to step into my own gratitude practice now with that cup of coffee, and I'm going to sit in a chair I can see it's just dabbled in sunlight, and I shall probably go for a nap later, because I'm really grateful that I have the space and time to be able to do that. So that is our message for today. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.